video on some liquid foundation. I have the MAC Prolong Wear. This is NW18, and this is the Colorstay Revlon liquid foundation, medium beige. If you are a MAC user, then you know that if you order online or in a MAC store, you can earn points. And we do not have a MAC store here. You can order it at a Dillard's, but you don't get any points. So I order online, and I realized that I will not have enough foundation for when it actually arrives. I would be out, so I looked up online to see what was its store brand counterpart, and it came up with Prolong Colorstay. And I figured the lipstick that I wear is Revlon Colorstay, and I really like it because it stays. I can drink, I can eat, I can kiss my husband, I can kiss my kids, and it still stays on. You have to actually really rub to get it off. So I really like that. Anyway, right away I noticed that there is a difference in consistency, which I will show you in just a moment. And not too crazy about that. This one tends to be thicker, and this is really watery. So I don't like that. Now I did do everything that I normally do with this. When I put on my MAC, I use the concealer. I have my MAC concealer and the eye cream as well, also MAC. And I use my MAC brush. This one is 170, and it looks something. It's got a little bit of an angle. So I used that. So I used everything that I normally would on both, including the regular makeup that goes with everything else that you're doing besides the concealer and the eye cream. I use the powder, which I always like to keep that on, so in case it breaks or anything, it won't make a big mess falling everywhere. And I use my highlighter. And actually this one is the Light Plus. The powder is the Light Plus Mineralized Skin Finish. And my highlighter, it says Soft and Gentle. Also the same type. And then I have the bronzer, and it is called Refined Golden. And I use, get that open. Oh, I had it. The blush. And this one is Warm Soul. Warm Soul. So I use everything that I normally would when I use my MAC foundation. I have Pure Minerals powder here as well as my MAC powder. And it's because I used to use this all the time. When we lived in Houston, I always ran to an Ultra store and bought this. That, and once a year, they have their buy one, get one free. Now it's in August that they do this, of their Pure Minerals. This actually does cost a few dollars, about, if I remember right, about $3 more than the MAC. And I used to like it a lot. This one has 4-in-1 things, but we won't get into that. I'll have to do another video for that one. But anyway, I did both of them, both the powders with both foundations, the MAC and the Revlon, just to test it. Just to see if I could get the same result, is why I used both powders. The MAC Prolong Wear, I noticed that it is sweat-proof, it is waterproof. I have been out and running around, and you get hot, you get sweaty, and the makeup still looks good. I mean, you can just dab it, and it's still there, still looks good, still looks fresh. There have been times where I'm out and it rains, and getting from the car to the store, sometimes it might wash off a little bit. This one didn't. This one stayed on. I actually wore this when I went to Schlitterbahn this past summer with my family, and my makeup looked just as good going in the water as it did coming out hours later, because we were there all day. So this one was really good. Transfer, as far as transfer, I've never gotten it on my clothes. I have hugged my kids, hugged my husband. I've taken a nap in it. There have been times that I am so tired that I don't take it off at night. I just go straight to bed. And in the morning, my makeup still looks just as great, as fresh and smooth as when I put it on the morning before. This one, the Revlon, I do notice that I've gotten it on the collars of my shirt, my kids' shoulders, my husband's shoulders. So this is not gonna stay on you as far as transfer. I'm wearing the Revlon right now, and I went to the post office just a little while ago, and it was, for whatever reason, it was rather warm in there, and I began to sweat. And I didn't notice, and I was doing the same thing, you know, doing a little, you know, patting down. And so I didn't notice until I got into the car that my makeup not only was beading on there, beading from the sweat, but it started where I was, you know, patting down. All of a sudden you could see it made like, I'm gonna say a trace. It made its trace, it made its lines, showing that I was sweating there, and so that part of the makeup had worn off. As with the MAC, it beads up with the sweat. You know, you get little dots and you just pat it off, you know, do your thing, and it still looks great. It doesn't leave that little white mark or sweat mark, if you want to call that. I don't know what you call that. And it didn't do that as far as the Sweat of the Rain didn't do it with the MAC. With the Colorstay, it did, and I didn't like that. I did notice the colors in the bottle, they look different, but it did match on my neck. It did do well. So let me show you the consistency. Oh, great. There we go. Oh no. This is kind of thick. Looks a little thick, and you rub it in. Let me see. That's what it looks like. And then, see, it blends in really, really good. Then this one is the Colorstay, which I will put right here on this other side. I want you to see just how that looks, and it runs really, really quick. Wow, this is so watery. It is so watery. I'm gonna have to wash some of this, well, not wash, wipe it off, because it's just so watery. I don't know if I can get a really good swatch for you there. I'm trying to get it as well. This is this is probably as good as it's gonna get, because it is still very shiny. And look at, this is the MAC up here. See how it just blends in really, really good. And this is the Revlon, and it's got more of a I don't know, maybe a more peachy tint. So Revlon on the bottom, MAC on the top. You can, and right here down the middle, there's nothing there, just my vein. So you can sort of see the difference between the two. I don't know if you can see that. And it still looks, let me get that out of here. It still looks oily. And I have broken out. I've broken out around the temples and on my cheek. As with this other one, I haven't, and I really like the way it looks. You can still feel a lot of the stuff. And if I were to get, let me see, where's just going to put a little bit on here just so you can see the powder. Just a little bit of that powder. Now you can see that it's kind of blending in a little bit. You can still see a little bit of, I'm still going to say this one is more natural, as you can see it, but it's just, I think it depends on not just what you can afford, but what you are okay with, what color you prefer. I mean, you might like this other color, the Revlon, better than the MAC, but I think the MAC is well worth the money. And I have noticed that with the Revlon, it does take 3 pumps for me to do my whole face. I think it's because it is watery. As with the MAC, I'm having to use about 4 or 5. So I do have to use a little more because it is thicker, but it gives me better coverage. I'm going to just say better coverage. No shine. No shine with the MAC. I don't know, how does my face look right now? Okay. I do have a little bit of shine, but I haven't been wearing it that long either with the Revlon. I've only been wearing it for maybe about 3 hours now. So that's another difference between the MAC and the Revlon. So I could probably go on and put the whole thing on there, but I don't think it's really going to make too much. Let me put a little bronzer on there. Bronzer. Man, am I out of it today. And a little bit of the blush. Okay, I don't know if you can tell that, but now the Revlon looks more pink, I guess. I don't know how you would say it, but peachy pink over this one. This one, it now has more color, I guess you can say, than the Revlon. But the Revlon now definitely looks darker. I don't know, I just have to say that I do like the MAC better. I think, whoops, that's my burnt. I burned myself during Thanksgiving. But there are the two right there. You can see them side by side. You saw them just by themselves, both foundations, the Revlon and the MAC. And I have put powder and bronzer and blush on both, just so you can see.